It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. The beef is still brewing between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. The beef is brewing so much so that during Joe Budden's Twitter Spaces today, actually within the last hour or so, Nicki Minaj decided to hop in. I guess they were having a Twitter Space talking about the beef and talking about the diss records. And, you know, of course, Joe Budden, he gets on Twitter Spaces pretty frequently throughout the week to talk to his fans and talk about things that are going on with his podcast, his co-hosts, things that are going on in the culture. So, of course, with this big discourse going on between Megan and Nicki, this was too big for them to pass up. And I guess somebody probably gave Nicki a heads up that this was going on. You know, the Barbs, they quick. If something of note is going on, they tackle the task. They start getting it around to the rest of the Barbs. Eventually, Nicki's going to see it. And she decided to show face, or at least let her voice be heard, because you can't see nobody on Twitter Spaces. But she came in and chose to address a few things that were going on in the conversation, right? Within this, she continues to name drop Desi Perez from Roc Nation. She continues to name Roc Nation specifically. She continues to talk about the advertisements that they're running on Megan Thee Stallion's new record, Hiss. She calls out Leor Cohen, right? Saying that there's bot accounts that are supporting her on YouTube. She says that they're doing paid advertisements on TikTok to make her seem like she's bigger than she is, which to me seems like normal label behavior, or, you know, behavior of somebody that's invested in an artist. I think Nicki Minaj probably, at least at one point, used to get that same level of support. Maybe not today. But I'm going to go ahead and play some of the audio. I don't know exactly how long she was in the actual Twitter Space with Joe Budden and his people, the JBTV folks. But as of now, I do see that there's two clips that people have extracted from that conversation. So I want to play that for you guys just so you could get a little bit of the temperature that's going on. She's definitely trying to defend herself. She's definitely trying to double down on some of the stances that she's taken over the course of the last 2 days. But anytime you get an opportunity to hear Nicki speak her mind and actually say these things rather than tweeting them out, I think this is valid to let her be heard, to try to get a little bit more understanding as to the inner workings of what it is that she's trying to do. I don't think that this Megan Thee Stallion situation is random. It's definitely not. They've been, like I said, throwing shots at each other for the past probably 2, maybe even 3 years, two years for sure. And as I stated the other day, I don't think her issue is solely with Megan Thee Stallion. She is just the face. She's the spokesperson of everything that she wants to take down right now.
Then why even give
Because
it this
because I do what
attention?
I do, because I do what I want, and when I warn hoes, I warn hoes for a reason. And if I told you don't play with me, okay,
Then don't play.
then don't come around, stomping your hoofs, telling people no one's going to respond, and then everywhere I look, I'm not even kidding. I kept screenshotting it. The Rock Nation ads begging people to buy her song on Twitter. My fans receiving messages to say mean stuff. Do you think any of this is even real, guys? But what I couldn't believe is that Doodoo on the beats. I didn't know that was the person that part. I didn't know. I didn't know that was the person that Party was talking about when he said you was fucking a nigga that you was doing the tags for. So here I go. I'm about to put out a little cute little boppity bop that I done had for 6 years in the in the safe. But so here I go. And we about to put it out because I was playing it on live, and some of the female rappers, they was like, "Ooh, they fuck with that." It was like a cute little song, and so I was like, maybe I could just do a song with all the girls. Anyway, so I was playing that song live, and it just happened to be a night when Bigfoot had said something dumb, and I was just joking around. I didn't expect to go viral, and I didn't even know Bigfoot was daring people to respond to her. I just was laughing at everything. It was a very chaotic night, and it wasn't only because of me. Let me first say that. And Bob's, y'all know,
That was a funny fucking night prior to me even coming around. But you know I like to play. I mean, what else? What else do you do when you're fucking?
People feel like you. People feel like you shouldn't play.
Okay. Well,
All right, so number one, Joe Budden addresses with Nicki Minaj. He says people feel like, why are you doing this, right? Why are you going about this in this way? Nicki Minaj says, I do what the fuck I want. I told you not to play with me. And I don't know if there's a tone of I told you not to play with me in any of the songs. I don't know what her perception is, honestly, because in my perception of everything, it seems like she's the aggressor. Megan Thee Stallion, to me, is the one that's trying to defend herself. But in Nicki's eyes, she feels like she's pushing Megan up off of her, which that could never be the case. In her estimation, she says, don't play with me, right? So then she decides to come in and play dirty. She wants to release this joint. And in her mind, she like, oh shit, I guess I could jump on one of the beats that y'all gave me, right? 6 years ago. What better way to drop a diss record than to diss you on a track produced by your producer so I could really hit hard on you motherfuckers. But it didn't make any sense. We addressed that. There's no need to go through all that shit. Just logically, it makes no sense to think that this was going to get cleared. She's mad that it didn't get clear. I don't know why she continues to harp on that, because in no world, I don't know what dimension she lives in outside of Earth, but niggas ain't doing shit like that. She says that she didn't know that Lil Ju made the beat, aka who she calls Doodoo on the beat, was the actual person, the alleged producer that Megan allegedly has been sleeping with for beats, right? Because she did the tags for his track. Partisan Fontaine put that out there. She said she never knew that was the actual guy. So that lets you know, allegedly, that there could be something deeper at play in terms of why the beat was not cleared. I guess she's looking at it like, well, if he's just a regular producer that's trying to get his money and his credits up, why not do it? But, oh, okay, that's the nigga she's sleeping with. That's the nigga she was creeping with while she was with Party. Nigga with the tags on the beats. All right, bet. So this is a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's just the fact that that's her personal producer that she came into the game with. He was not established before he started working with Megan. She was not established before she started working with him. They've been rocking together since 2017, 2018 era. That's a long time for you to just switch sides. Who the fuck's going to do that? And you probably wasn't talking enough money to secure his future to even entertain the thought. Then she goes and talks about Roc Nation begging people to buy her record. I want to go ahead and just show you guys the advertisement that Nicki Minaj is referencing. Again, I don't like to be seen as like the debunk nigga. You know, there's a certain target that comes with that. I just like to hear what people say, and I like to see if it's real. And if it's not, I'm going to say that it's not because I'm an enemy, but because I am here solely for the purpose of spreading truth. Here's the advertisement. It simply states, Roc Nation here. Download the Stallion's Hiss Now with a Roc Nation link. And it shows you that the song was already on the iTunes hip hop chart. So it was already gaining support prior to this advertisement going out. They're just doing additional support to get people to get behind it, which every label and every management company in the fucking music industry should be doing to help their artists. If your objective is not to catapult your artist to a higher level or to help them go from 0 to 60, 60 to 120, 120 to 200, then that's why you get fired. So it's weird to me that that's the play that she takes. But again, she thinks that people are stupid, and the Barbs are. They take everything that she says as law on some fucking Judge Dredd shit. So she knows that she can manipulate their mindset, and whatever whistle that she can blow, they're running with it, whether it's true, false, or somewhere in the middle. Now let's get to another part of this conversation. I got to make this quick.
So if you get shot in one, and then you get shot in two, now that leaves 0. So how you twerking 2 days? How you twerking 2 days later? If you got, do you know what? Have you ever been shot?
So here she's trying to debunk the theory of Megan Thee Stallion actually getting shot in her feet, saying, "Hey, If you got shot in one and you got shot in two, which nobody said that she got shot in both her feet, there's only one foot that was allegedly shot. This the shit we talking about. She says, why are you twerking on social media just a couple days later? Now, I ain't gonna lie, it is a little mysterious that anybody experiencing, the trauma of being shot will be on anywhere twerking just a couple days later, but maybe she's dancing to keep from crying, I don't know. Megan has done some things that have made people side-eye her or at least question her credibility, and you can't fully knock somebody that questions it because we have to question everything in order to try to find what's real and what's not. So although there's a lot of things I disagree with Nicki Minaj about in this situation, that is one thing that just opens up curiosity.
I've never been shot, Nicki.
Okay. I know people that have been shot. I know people like that shoot. Okay. Now let me tell you what the fuck don't happen 2 days after a bitch get shot in two hoofs. Twerking on socials. First of all, emotionally, you just got shot. Girl, no. But, however, the point is, what really grinded my fucking gears, guys? What grinded my gears was when doo-doo on the beats. Them I've never met in my life, right? Got on Twitter, started bragging about him not clearing a beat for Nicki Minaj. So, while people were acting unbothered on socials, and while Desiree Perez was the bots, oh my god, we have screenshots of the YouTube bots. It's crazy. Leo, you better don't play with me, nigga. I hope you ain't around that company no more right now, cause
He's still the head of that company.
And so, no wait, hold on, Joe. Hold on. Between the YouTube bots and the Twitter ads and the paid for TikToks and the paid for tweets, to the point where people got their little $250 for they tweet to say something bad about Nicki Minaj, and then the next day it was like, bitch, anyway, I'm listening to Bigfoot. So
she's alleging that people are getting paid $250 to run a smear campaign putting out tweets against Nicki Minaj. Now, I'm not going to say that this isn't happening. I'm not going to say this is true. But what I will say, and I'm going to be completely honest here, if people are being paid $250 to tweet negative things about you, and what do they come and DM you what that going rate is? Let's just assume you've paid somebody else $250 to put out negative tweets about somebody else, because that seems like a very specific number. And I mean, none of this is new information as far as like paid advertisements or hitting up content creators for UGC on TikTok. There's literal applications online, numerous websites where if you are an independent artist, if you're a label, if you're an agency, if you're a management group or firm, or just an independent manager, you can go find people that have set rates for them to play your music in their TikTok posts, their Instagram posts, any other social media that they have, right? And whatever their price is, that's their rate. They get it up within a certain amount of days and they act like your shit is the shit. That's not new information. This is something that a lot of people have turned to over the last few years. There's a lot of reputable websites, blogs, etc. that no longer take just your standard submissions and pitches and whatnot. They want to be paid for those posts so that they can say your shit is the best thing since sliced bread. So let's not act like you have no experience in dealing with these types of individuals or companies. The reason you know about it is because y'all went through the same type of shit. You're signed to Republic, which is a subsidiary of Universal Music. You're not going to tell me that your label is not putting Millions of dollars behind you. Yes, you have the barbs, and they do a lot of the heavy lifting to where you could probably pocket a lot of your budget, which is why you don't have no music videos, which is why you're not really trying to tour like that. Even though the tour is booked, you still ain't trying to give your fans no information about it. You told them niggas to fall back yesterday when they wanted to know, is the tour really coming when it's just a month away? Why? Right? Where is the content? So instead of you going out and doing it, which, hey, it's a smart move if you feel like, hey, I got a big enough fan base where I don't have to do it. But understand, somebody's paying for it. If it's not coming out your pocket, the label's definitely doing something. Or if they didn't just go around, salute. But the reason you know this shit happens is because they've been blowing the bag on you for how many years? You didn't get to this point just by putting good raps in. Nobody does. But you know, if Megan Thee Stallion, Rock Nation, YouTube now is public enemy number one, that's what it is, because Nicki Minaj thrives when she has an enemy. And right now she has at least 3, which is giving her even more steam to go with.
Don't know why anybody of that, and I'm not talking about any rapper, I'm talking about a company or companies. Why would they want to prove everything I've been saying is true? Because what happens is, if you already make a smear campaign to market and tell people somebody is quote unquote crazy, then you are training them.
People deduce that on their own. You actually give all of the firepower to the crazy allegations. Don't nobody got to pay for that shit. You did that for free.
Not to believe whatever this person says. So why would Doodoo on the Beats that night come out like a dummy on the beats?
On the Beats is funny though.
And prove my point. Oh, and you know what the barbs do? Oh, once one point Nicki say has been proven, oh, they will go back for the last 50 years and research some shit. And they will realize, oh, wow, they've been doing this, they've been doing that, they've been doing that. And now you ask yourself, why? So if you think this is an issue between 2 rappers, you're wrong. This is a dialogue between me, the machine, and a bunch of different machines having to come together constantly, using different people. When one fails, let's go somewhere else and try to. It never works.
All right, here we go. She's lining them up. She's saying, let's keep it frank. Years ago, when the Cardi B situation was brewing up, right? She alleged that Atlantic Records was trying to find her replacement because they couldn't get her to sign. Right? They ended up finding Cardi B. She takes off, Bodak Yellow, all that good shit. There was also other artists that were in the pipeline that were, looking for deals. Atlantic Records did bring them in, and other artists have come out and said, hey, one of the stipulations of them bringing me in for a deal was that they wanted me to make a Nicki Minaj diss record. They wanted to use that buzz around that diss record to launch my career. They told me not to worry about it. All they needed me to do was do that. Those artists did decline. So at some point there was some level of, we got to take this girl out. Again, I say, when you're right, you're right. Atlantic put the firepower behind Cardi B. However, let's not discredit Cardi B and what she's brought to the game. She brings a hell of a lot of personality, which is something that nobody can take away from her. You can try to be the greatest rapper in the world. You could be the greatest pen in the world. If you're not entertaining, if you don't have the personality that people want to see, they keep coming back for more. Niggas was spending days upon days on Cardi B's Instagram just to see what she had to say. You can't put that lightning in a bottle and think that you're going to duplicate that. She was a unique specimen from the beginning. And when I say specimen, I ain't even talking about a body. I'm just saying she was that breath of fresh air that people wanted. It was the antithesis of this buttoned up, reserved, media trained artist, ultimate poise. She came out and said what the fuck was on her mind at any given time, right? At the expense of perhaps looking crazy. Even to this day, she does that. So y'all are kind of in that same boat together. Y'all have that genius insanity trait. That's both of yous, right? But in Nicki Minaj's ego, she says the Cardi B thing didn't work, which is asinine because Cardi B is now seen at your level specifically because it worked. Had it not worked, she would have been snuffed out years ago. You still was beefing with her just 45 days ago, 30 days ago? Let's not act like you just marked her off your motherfucking chalkboard. That shit is ongoing. It's cool now because Cardi is chilling and she don't want to be in the public eye. But let's not act like when she start dropping songs, get ready to gear up to drop an album, and she start taking shots, doing features again, this shit is it's rekindled. But in the meantime, she's got a new target, right? We got Megan. There's also the Lotto situation. She feels like Lotto, y'all put Lotto up to try to go against me. I snuffed her out. And, Lotto still takes her shots. She does. She hasn't broken through to the same level as a Cardi B. She hasn't broken through to the same level as really a Megan Thee Stallion. I think they're kind of in a similar boat, even though if you want to count who's had a professional deal, debut, and all of that type of stuff out longer, Megan would take the cake on that. Lotto really had her breakthrough during the pandemic. She's got the new song with J Lo, so she's still ascending. She's still going up. She's still finding her place. She makes a couple missteps here and there by doing songs with artists that people aren't interested in, real trash artists, keeping her ear to the streets and the trenches. I think that hurts her a little bit. It diminishes her value sometimes. I think they need to get that under control. But she feels like, Lotto's a non-factor in Nicki Minaj's eyes. So she's like, okay, y'all got this girl here, Megan Thee Stallion, Rock Nation, y'all behind her. And now she's side-eyeing Jay-Z and them. Like, oh, this is what it is? All right, bet. Let's go toe-to-toe.
But that's the point that I wanted the world to see. And that it's going to be sympathy again. It's going to be nonsense again. And nobody will ever respect that in rap. So if you get shot in one.
Yep. So there you have it, folks. Of course, probably going to be more clips that come out later. I'll be on the lookout for it for sure. You know what I'm saying? But right now, these clips are coming out slowly. I'm not going to wait for everybody to just unload the clip. I'm not going to come back and keep talking about every clip that comes out unless something is scathing, something that is just really piping hot that needs to be addressed specifically. We know where she stands. She don't fuck with Megan. She don't fuck with Rock Nation. She don't fuck with Jay-Z at this point. She said something about people being salty about the fact that they couldn't sign her years ago. I do know that was mentioned. I think that was also geared at Jay-Z because she said they were mad that they couldn't sign her and Drake. Like they wanted that combination. You know what I mean? So I do know Jay-Z was heavily interested in Drake. I don't know if he was interested in Drake at the same time that Wayne, because Wayne had that first right of refusal. Wayne was walked into the building, you know what I'm saying, where it's like Drake was served up on a platter. Kind of the same thing with Nicki Minaj. So Wayne had that one up. But, it took a while for their deals to actually get inked. So Jay-Z probably tried to, hey, I'm about to start this thing. Because Rock Nation came shortly after Young Money came, right? Because then J. Cole became a part of Rock Nation and was the first, that whole rollout, Rita Ora, J. Cole. They managed Wale early on. Wale got the fuck up out of there. He didn't give it the time to evolve. He still kind of regrets that a little bit to this day. But just imagine if they would have got Nicki and Drake at the same time under that umbrella. That would have been a fucking dynasty out of this world. And she feels like to this day, they haven't let that grudge go. And now that they have Megan, it's like, let's get her all the way out the paint if we can. And she feels like they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at her with these advertisements and all this stuff. Again, I think that's a load of shit. I think that she uses this to get her people and her fans, the Barbs, riled up, because anytime she faces quote unquote opposition, they go harder. They buy more music. They're willing to buy 1,200 copies on their own. Like one person will buy 100 copies of the same music just to show up. And I can't really fault them for doing that. That's the fandom. They do with their money what they please. But this is where we at. She feels like there's a conspiracy against her, that the industry is really trying to get her out the paint, despite the love, the adoration that she received for Pink Friday 2. It's never enough. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I'll see y'all on the next one.
King of my city and Kodak. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some battery. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.